Hi, Kendra Cozy here. While we're all going through this quarantine, a lot of small businesses are actually freaking out right now. Well, I'm a small business myself, but I'm not freaking out. I'm going to tell you my 5 reasons why I feel like the quarantine can actually help your business. So stay tuned. But before I get started, do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. Also, hit that notification bell so that you will always be notified when I upload a new video. Let's get into it. As a small business owner myself, I understand all the frustration. I understand all of the panic, and I understand all of the uncertainty behind owning a small business in the climate of what's going on. So I'm going to give you 5 tips, things that I do myself, that I use myself, that can actually help your business during this quarantine. As crazy as it sounds, sometimes some of the best things, the best ideas are born out of adversity. So without further ado, number 1. This quarantine is helping a lot of small businesses because it is giving many of us time to actually be creative and create content. So many of us are busy working in our businesses that we never have the opportunity to work on our business. And when you work in your business more than you work on your business, it's very hard to gain new customers, new clients, to keep things running, to promote like you should. It's hard to do all of that. So a lot of us have been struggling with content creation. Well, we're at home. A lot of us, if you have children, you have to do that and certain things around the house. But for the most part, without having to go to work, for those of us who aren't working, we have all the time in the world to create. And that's exactly what I have been doing. I have been wanting to switch my website from a Wigs website to a Shopify website for like the past year and a half. But I haven't been able to find a decent graphic artist or website builder, the person that builds a website. I haven't been able to find one of those. So I've been in a predicament where I've just been kind of stuck with the site that I had, and I haven't been able to find anybody to do it. Well, now that I'm home, I have all this time. Guess what I learned to do? I learned to build my own website. Now, that is not necessarily my first choice of what I wanted to do, but I hired somebody to do it. They didn't do it. So I had to do what I had to do, and I sat down and one day learned how to do it myself. It took me like a week to get it all the way completed, but I did it, and without this time, I would have never been able to do that. So who knows how much longer it would have been before I could have transitioned the way that I wanted to. Another thing that I was able to do is that I learned how to edit videos. As a creative, I have so many ideas and concept and marketing things that I want to do, but again, without a videographer, without editors, and all of these people that cost so much money, and then finding somebody who's reliable is a whole nother issue. I had the time to sit down and figure it out myself. Now, granted, I'm not Steven Spielberg, but I have enough knowledge at this point to create the videos that I want. I know how to edit them. I know how to tell the story that I want to tell. And without the quarantine, I would not have had time to do that. So figure out what it is you've been wanting to do content-wise that you haven't been able to do because you've been working so much on your business instead of in your business, and get to work. Get to work and get it done. Number 2. The second way that the quarantine can actually help your business is that it allows you the time to reconnect with either current customers or past customers or clients that you haven't seen in a while. Now, let me explain. A lot of times, again, us entrepreneurs, especially if you work in your business, we're so busy servicing our customers and clients. We're so busy doing that thing, whatever it is that you do in your business. If you're a baker, you're so busy baking cakes. If you're a barber, you're so busy cutting hair. If you're a nail tech, you're so busy doing nails that a lot of times, once that initial service is over and done, we don't have the time to actually go back and make that connection with our clients. There's a saying that I love that says people don't buy into businesses and products. People buy into people. So once people like you, once you have developed a relationship with your customer and clients, it is a lot easier to get them to come back over and over and over and over again, and then sell your business or products to other people. But a lot of us have not built those connections. So we end up chasing after new customers and new clients all the time. It's costing us a ton of money. It's costing us a ton of time. And for those of us who don't even know how to do that, we just end up frustrated. So it's time now for you to reconnect with those people. When I was teaching before, I always told you guys, you need to collect the phone number, you need to collect an email whenever you perform a service. That way, during this time is when you sit down and you can actually use that contact information you have on your clients and add value to them. Whatever it is that you offer, there is a way that you can add value to people that will bring them comfort and peace within whatever your service industry is. They will feel comfortable enough to, once all this is over with, they will come back to you even if you haven't seen them in a while. I personally have been doing that. I have an email list of probably like 3,000 clients, and I'm so busy in the business that I don't talk to them as often as I should. I have the intentions on doing it, I have the want to do it, but I just physically don't have the time. So now that this quarantine and we're all stuck at home, I sat down and I created a week's worth of emails. I automated them all so that they all go out and they're telling whatever story or telling whatever narrative that I want. And then you'll be surprised if you do it properly. Like, I'm a storyteller. So I have a hair company and a hair salon. So now, granted, I do, want to sell my product and my services, when we open back up. But as of right now, the salons are closed. So I can't always just send out messages like, hey, buy this, buy this, buy this. I have a sale, sale, sale. No, I tell stories. I let them into my personal life. I give out a lot of inspirational messages and a lot of very basic things that will encourage and inspire a lot of my clients. And you'd be surprised how far that goes. When I send out those messages, I get so many emails of people responding back like, thank you, that was needed. I was freaking out, like that was right on time. Like, you confirmed some things for me. You made me feel peace. Like, I get so many messages. And then, once my business opens back up, or when I do send an email saying, hey, I'm having a sale or I'm doing this or that, then they're more receptive to it because I have taken the time to make that connection. So while you have time, if you have been collecting your clients' information along the way, which you should have been, now is the time to actually connect to them with them and add value so that when businesses are back up and running, you're not strangers. Number 3 is that it allows you time to reevaluate your business model. A lot of my entrepreneur friends who I've been hitting up, like, just a quick text or inbox, like, hey, what are you doing, with your business? What's keeping you busy? Almost everybody is saying, hey, I'm reevaluating some things. I'm going over things in my business. I'm seeing where my overhead was too much. I'm seeing where I haven't been marketing enough. I've been dumping too much money into this thing. Hey, I need to get me a physical product so that I'm able to sell it online. You need to reevaluate your business model and look at everything that has not been working thus far and try to supplement something else in its place that will work. Reevaluate your business model and see what it is that you need to invest more money in, and see what it is that you're investing too much money in that's not working. Number four, and this is just so basic, but it just, to me, it's the most important thing on here, is that it allows a lot of us time to rest. Going hard and being a boss, especially during the quarantine, all the other things that I told you, with reevaluating your business model, creating content and connecting with clients, all of that is fine, but just make sure you're taking time to rest. Make sure you rest. A lot of us, when we started our business, we were so passionate, we were so on fire, we were so excited, and then many of us have burned ourselves out to the point where we don't really even enjoy what we do anymore. And in the process of that, we have kind of started to resent our businesses. And this is just me being honest and candid. A lot of people may or may not admit that, but I have been there. I've been in business 9 years and I have been there a few times. So I've been shouting from the rooftop, like, as unfortunate as the circumstance is, as my heart goes out to like the families and the healthcare workers and everybody who's negatively affected. Me personally, I am enjoying the time off. I was near burnout. I was exhausted mentally and physically. I was tired, and I don't care how much money I made. It just was not fun anymore. So I enjoy like having this time off to rest, recalibrate, rejuvenate. And then when we go back, we'll be on fire again. It'll be exciting again. And we can actually go back and view it as something that we love doing versus something that we're obligated to do because we've started this thing and now we're committed. So make sure that you are getting rest so that when we open back up and we get going, we can hit the ground running. All right, and the last one, the 5th way that the quarantine can actually help your business. Now, this is a sore topic for some, but the CARES Act. When President Trump release the information of the CARES Act. For those of you who have been under a rock and don't know, there are different programs where small business owners could have access to certain grants and loans, which is money basically that they don't have to pay back, or if you do have to pay it back, it's for a minimal interest rate. And these are loans that a lot of small businesses would not have had access to had this situation not taken place. Whether it be your business isn't strong enough, your credit isn't good enough, like you don't have the income, like whatever it may be, a lot of small businesses would not have been in a predicament to receive a lot of this funding under normal circumstance. So it was a blessing in that way. The problem with it, which, you know, we all is just like side-eyeing the country at this point, is that most people feel like it was a bailout for the bigger companies because the money ran out fairly quickly. So the small businesses who actually needed the funding didn't actually get it. That's unfortunate. However, again, looking at the glass half full versus half empty, the stipulations around receiving that funding made a lot of small business owners realize how much their stuff was not in order. So the way that this situation positively impacts your business is that if you applied for those loans, or if you attempted to apply and you were denied, or you couldn't get your paperwork together fast enough to even submit before the money ran out, I hope this made you realize, like, yo, I need to get my stuff in order. There are a lot of people who hadn't filed taxes in I don't know how long. They weren't documenting their own pay. So if you're 1099, they weren't filing 1099s. If you had employees, like, they didn't really keep an accurate record, so they didn't have records of their employee. It's just a whole mess. And I think that that's kind of the common thing with a lot of small businesses, is that we don't have our stuff together. While that's true for a lot of us, some of us, that's not true. I've definitely had my fair share of not having my stuff in order, where certain things I do a good job at keeping in order. And like my payroll is one of those things. Sometimes you just have to hire somebody else to do those things for you. Right now we have the time to do stuff, but in the normal world, business as usual, we don't have time. So if you don't have time to do your own payroll, if you don't have time to keep your own books, then you have to allow room in your budget to hire other people to do it. Because what happens is that when opportunities make themselves available, you are not prepared. And as my old pastor used to say, the time to be ready is not the time to get ready. For me, I have a company who does my payroll. So all I have to do is log into my account, click a couple buttons, and print out 2 or 3 pages, and I was good. So it was really simple for me. But for other people, they were freaking out, like, well, where do I get this? Or I don't know how to do that. How do I calculate this? And it was like a whole mess. So again, even though the funding did run out, which is unfortunate, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if more money becomes available, or if the funds didn't run out, it made us realize that a lot of us don't have our stuff in order. And had we not gone through this situation, we would have kept going in a lot of chaos and running business in a way that businesses should not be run. So I hope it encourages you to get your stuff in order, to hire an accountant. So those are the 5 ways that the quarantine can actually help your business. Having more time to create content, reconnecting with your clients and customers, reevaluating your business model, allow time for you to rest so that you can become passionate again about whatever it is that you do, and realizing that you need to get a lot of your documents in order. I hope that information was helpful. I hope it confirmed some things for somebody, and I hope it brought insight to others. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them below. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, ciao.